I'm watching this documentary, okay? And it's a Miami documentary. And we have, what we have here is Uncle Luke on this documentary. And what pops up on the screen is what a lot of people don't know is FAMU, HBCU, FAMU, shout out to FAMU. I went to Bethune-Cookman, so I have to, anytime I have to talk FAMU, I have to add that in there. I don't want people thinking I'm a rattler. FAMU.
Don't make that mistake.
They beat Miami, okay? They beat the Miami Hurricanes in 1979, okay? A lot of people don't know that. And that's a major thing because what happens is, and for people that don't know, really quick, a lot of these bigger schools, D1 powerhouse, Miami Hurricanes, Florida Gators, whatever, Ohio State, they play the smaller schools, FAMU, Bethune, and whatever, Rollins College, whatever you want to think about. They play them and they pay them, right? They pay them to open up the season. They pay them an X amount of dollars. Sometimes $10,000, sometimes it's $1 million. It really just depends, right, and what you can negotiate. And even Dion and Jackson State went through that and was talking about that last couple of years as well, okay? And so what they never do is they never beat them. The bigger schools dominate them. I'm talking 70-0, 55-3, like every single time. So this was a huge occurrence for FAMU to beat Miami. Beat them by 3 points, I think 20-17 or something like that, right? Okay. And I'm watching this documentary.
What's the documentary by chance?
It was a Miami thing, just a Miami culture thing. They were talking about Miami Hurricanes. They were talking about the rap scene. They were talking a lot of stuff that Miami hip hop culture. All right. And then Uncle Luke gets on this screen. Now, Uncle Luke is a guy who's made some crazy comments about like people like Jay-Z saying how the NFL is just using him for blackness and stuff like that. He got pulled the race card on that. He's also his brother, actually his younger brother, actually went to FAMU and is like sits on the chairboard, all types of stuff, right? And things like that. And Uncle Luke gets on the screen and he says, "Yeah, man, you know, being from Miami, I saw this game and I saw how FAMU beat Miami in 1979, and that's when I took charge and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go extra hard for the Hurricanes and I'm gonna get all the players and all the recruits to go there, and I'm gonna I was the first rapper or first musician to put a college on the on my album cover and do all that." And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, look at this fucking idiot, man. I'm just getting so mad every time he's talking about this. Now listen, I understand. You grew up in Miami, you're a Miami Hurricane fan, blah, blah, blah. I'm a Florida Gator fan, okay, whatever, and all this and that. That wasn't the time to go real hard for Miami Hurricanes. Miami Hurricanes are going to be okay without you. Like, they straight, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was the time to go extra hard for FAMU. Like, FAMU just beat a huge fucking national football program. That was the time for you to put FAMU on your album cover. You know what I'm saying? Go hard and get extra players to go to FAMU. You know what I mean? Because we weren't that many years removed to where black players could even play for teams like Miami and Florida Gators and Ohio State. We weren't that far removed, 1979. You know what I mean? So I just hate to fucking hear him and see him talk about that and be so passionate about, yeah, I did this for Miami Hurricanes and yeah, and they let me come on the sidelines and nobody was on the sidelines. Man, fuck them sidelines, man. That was the time for you to go hard for FAMU, man. And who knows what that could have did for that HBCU, for HBCU culture. But again, we don't give a shit about it. We rather give to the more fortunate other than the less fortunate. And it's
I have some serious concerns with the timeline of this whole thing. That game happened in 1979. I'm not 100% sure how old Luke is, but he's not that much older than me.
No. What I'm saying is he's saying like that game, like I guess it's stuck in his memory brain and stuff like that. And
yeah, but what I'm saying is like he was probably in his mid-teens when that game was played. Mm-hmm. That, if not pre-Schnellenberger, early Schnellenberger, Miami wasn't shit back then.
Yeah.
And him jumping and riding from Miami, that happened in the mid to late 80s.
Right.
What this game is before all that. This doesn't even matter. He's just coming up with a horseshit story for the documentary.
Oh, okay.
This is
now
trash.
Now I'm right. Okay, I see.
Yeah, this is garbage.
Okay.
Yeah, this makes no sense because he would have been like a mid-teenage guy.
Yeah.
And Miami football wasn't the Miami football that we
know. And
again, FAMU, you were closer to the period of time when white schools weren't even playing black players in the early 70s.
Right.
But it was probably integrated. The roster was probably integrated by the time this game was played. But the fact that a UM team was losing to FAMU in 1979, that's a tree falling in the forest. Nobody heard it happen. So don't over-dramatize. Yes. Don't over-dramatize this game as some symbolic thing in your life.
Right.
Like, Miami had no swag in 1979.
Right.
The Canes, the U, that didn't exist. So this is all kind of, I'm calling bullshit on the whole story.
Yeah.
This is just one of those concocted embellishments that somebody dug up the historical fact that FAMU won this game, but it was before the U that we know. And, before he was probably a mid-teenager, man.
Yeah.
Tops. 1979, I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
He might have been 16.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
So he just wanted to be a part of this documentary.
Hell yeah.
Needed something to say.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
No, he probably had to. Here's the thing. Whoever did the documentary, they probably found this historical fact that if you're talking hip-hop culture, this gains some relevance and some traction. But nobody, who's still cool was old enough at that time to have any thoughts on this game. They're all dead. Like, it's just ridiculous. So, Luke's like the last man standing. Luke, it's okay. You were 14 and a half. Your voice just got deep, and we saw your third pubic hair. Like, what are we doing?
Facts, man.
Yeah, so this is just sloppy documentary making.
It is. And I'm sure Uncle Luke was up there in Tallahassee smashing all the FAMU girls. At least you could have done was put him on your damn album cover.
When I was in Tallahassee in the mid '90s, I literally I was at a club in Tallahassee, and Luke was there. And I don't know if you ever, when I was there, they had a certain type of lighting in the club that if a girl was wearing a certain kind of dress and a certain kind of panty, you could see the panties through the dress with the lights of the club. And Luke was there, and he was just putting money up for girls to show their G-strings. And it just dawned on me, this man is a god. Your whole, you just come to a college town and, throw a little cash around and be Luke in 1992 or 3.
Right.
And this is what happens. This is the perfect life. This is the way I want to be. And I didn't turn out the right way, man. It was just amazing. You're you go to these same bars without him.
Right.
Okay, good night of college people. But with him, it felt like a a movie.
Right.
And I was I'm watching it happen. I'm looking at him, and I'm like, this is his life. He can make this happen whenever he wants. He's never gonna be bored.
He can make G-strings appear, whatever. That's his superpower.
Exactly. It legitimately was, man. The superpower of Uncle Luke, man. Firsthand, I saw it. It was an amazing night.
Exactly. We have Ebony coming. Good evening, fellas. What's going on, Ebony?
What's happening?
All right.